hearts out. You have to win. You kill them. No mercy. Take their lives. Yeah! 1, 2, 3, feed.
Just say some random shit.
Hello, testing.
So we're going. What have you been up to?
Today,
Just in general, whole summer.
working out, going to grad parties,
Do you have any big plans after high school?
going to college, IU, nursing with Charlie.
Got any plans for the summer? Anything big? Really?
Nothing specific, just keep working out, do the prep for college and stuff.
Are you excited for college?
Yeah, I am.
How about leaving Valpo?
That'll be interesting. I think I'll like it though, being on my own.
Yeah. How'd you meet him?
I met him in middle school cross country, 6th grade. I wasn't really close with him then, but I knew who he was. He was friends with Ryan and you, and there was another kid who was in that little, he would always, that's how I met him, through cross country.
Yeah. So you met him in middle school. How long had you known him for?
Since 6th grade.
So, six or 7 years.
Yeah.
So when you first met him, did you guys form a friendship off of that, or was there another time you feel like clearly started your guys' friendship?
I think it clearly started. We were just acquaintances in middle school. I wasn't really friends with them. But then when we were going into high school, we were wondering who from the BF cross country team would be going to the high school cross country team, and it was only me, him, and I was it. So because of that, I was awkward and really shy in middle school. So he was the only kid that I knew on the cross team. So I right into freshman year this summer, he was my only friend on the team.
How during your friendship, how close would you consider yourself to him?
I'd say we got pretty close, especially near this last year. Right off the bat, freshman year summer, we both got invited to cross country camp, and I didn't really know anybody else besides him, so we tented together in a 3-person tent, so it was really small. So we spent a lot of quality time there that whole camp, so 4 days where we were just right next to each other the whole time.
So you'd say he was one of the people you were closer to in your life?
Yeah.
And then was your guys' friendship consistent throughout knowing him?
Yeah.
Was there ever a period you felt you were really close or not as close, or was it just consistent throughout?
It was always kind of consistent because I would either have Latin with him, do cross country with him, or last year I would be working out with him a lot after school, doing stuff like that.
He took Latin?
Yeah, he was in Latin 1 and, dude, I don't even know. I think Latin 2. I don't remember if I even took Latin 2.
To be honest, I think he failed 8th grade Spanish. I don't think
So he switched to Latin?
Yeah, I don't think he got the credit for that.
He was good at Latin. He never really, it didn't seem like he was paying attention, but he was good at it.
Do you have any funny Latin class stories with him?
Yeah, he would always be on his phone, watching MMA fights or YouTube or something, and Coach K was a teacher, and he would, call on him and be answer this question, blah, 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 and he was huh? That type of voice, and he would always know the answer to the question, whatever it was, even though he was never paying attention.
What year of high school was this?
This was, I think it was junior year, yeah.
So he started junior year, you'd say?
What, Latin class?
Yeah.
That was Latin 2, yeah.
So I was wondering how early that was, you brought up the MMA stuff.
Yeah, he got interested in it a while ago.
Yeah. Do you have a definite favorite memory with him?
Yeah, probably the day I like wanted to go to the Y and do cardio with him. This was like last year in March, and he didn't want to go inside because it was like a nice day. So I went over to his house with a bike in the back of my car, and like that whole day, like 5 hours, we just biked around town to like Charlie's house, Nova's house, Julian's house. Like we went all over town on the bikes, and we stopped by Patrick Brogan's house too, like that neighborhood, and there was the abandoned like that weird abandoned medical center, and there's a lake by there, and we were like messing with broken bottles and throwing them everywhere and breaking them, and then I think we got like food afterwards somewhere. It was probably Dairy Queen. We'd get Dairy Queen after the Y all the time.
Ah. For some reason, what was like the size of his bike? Because I just see it for some reason as like a comically small bike.
Yeah, I think it was really small. He was like struggling to keep up with me the whole time because it was like a kid's bike.
Is there anything you want to talk about, like from his time at Dairy Queen?
At Dairy Queen, he was just funny there. It was fun having him working. He would his favorite blizzard was like the cookie dough, and I think he liked chocolate ice cream, and it was fun having him working there.
Was he, would you consider him a model worker?
Not quite. He was a little slower, but he was a star back there either way.
Yeah. Do you have like any memories like of his like first shift or like his last shift?
Not really, just besides like his first shift, him being clueless, just like wah, okay, just like that. And his last shift, I don't even remember really well because he didn't show up, because I remember he just quit out of the blue, like texting and was like, I'm done, blah blah blah, or texting me. I think he texted me and told me to tell that he wasn't coming in anymore.
Did he teach you anything important or significant that you like feel like you keep with you today?
Like in all?
In all.
Yeah. He taught me how to be like a hard worker, like especially in cross country and just stuff like that. Like he didn't try a lot in school, but he was like really committed to whatever sport or whatever he was doing outside of school. So I remember sophomore year going into junior year, I was like concerned that I wasn't getting as fast as the other cross guys were, like at the same pace or something. And he would talk to me about that and be like, it's up to you, like you can do it if you want to. Like he was telling me he believed that I could get faster if I wanted to. And I did my junior year. I went a little faster just because of that.
Do you think you left anything important or significant with him?
Probably, yeah. Like, I think we both kind of fed off of each other's like work ethic towards things outside of school and stuff like that, like cross country and working out.
What stood out to you the most about?
I don't know, dude. He was so different than like everybody else. Like you could not find a person to compare him to where they're like nearly the same. He was like really funny all the time, but like 50% of the time it wasn't on purpose. It was just him being him.
When was the last time you saw him live?
It was over the summer at some point, because it was probably one of the times we had gone to the Y together. Because we went like a lot during March, and then like he dropped off a couple for a while to do the MMA thing, and then I think I would convince him a couple times over the summer to go. So it was at the Y probably at some point.
Do you have like a specific like month you think it was?
Yeah, it was probably some point in July. I don't remember the exact date. I just remember that like just in the beginning of August, probably like 5 days before the 8th, he would text me, or he texted me on Snapchat and was asking me to go to the Y with him, but like I couldn't that day. I can't remember why. I think I was working or something, but I think he wanted to just see me maybe before, but I couldn't make it that day.
The last few times at the Y, how was like he?
He was still like, I didn't notice anything. It was still him like talking about some kid he didn't like on the cross team. We're talking about like a girl in one of his classes, just talking about MMA. He would show me like specific exercises to do. Like we would do an ab workout after like the normal lifting, and he would like try to modify mine into an MMA type thing. And he would send me like special ab workouts on Instagram too to do, because they were more MMA geared. Because I had told him that I'd probably do it because I was planning on doing it, but my parents wouldn't let me.
So if you had to say, you would say that like nothing seemed off about him.
No, not really. Just besides when he dropped the UFC gym and stuff like that, that was definitely weird, especially when he quit Dairy Queen like around the same time too. And then he wouldn't, like he'd be sleeping in a lot, like in the morning. So when I'd call him to like go to the Y, even at like 11 or something, he like would just be waking up to the phone call.
Yeah. When did you find out about him dropping MMA?
I think it was somebody else that told me. I don't think it was him that told me. It might have been like Julian at work or somebody like offhandedly mentioning it, and I had like no idea up until that point.
Are you glad you had those like last few times with him?
Yeah, I am. Especially because like that's when I was getting into working out, so it gave me, because we probably wouldn't have seen each other that often if it wasn't for going to the Y and stuff. So I'm glad I got into working out so I would have those opportunities to see him.
When did you find out about his passing?
I just got off a shift at Dairy Queen, and I got a call from Aidan, and he was like, did you hear about it? I was like, no, what are you talking about? And he had mentioned his name, like did you hear what happened to him? And I said no. I was like worried, like, oh, maybe he was in like a car accident or something like that, or some like sick. That's like immediately what I assumed. And then he had told me, and I was like, I don't even know how I reacted. I was just in shock from it. And that was the end of the call. Like, he just told me that and hung up.
Did you like necessarily believe it at first, or were you still processing?
I was still, I think I'm still processing it now. Like, it's weird to think about because I remember it was like the day after. I had work at like 9 a.m. or something, so I went in and I got a text from my mom like during the shift, and she was like, is he okay? Because she must have heard something. I don't know if she heard the exact news, but she was texting me asking me if he was okay, and I had to tell her that he had committed suicide. And it, like, just thinking about that text, it still doesn't seem real to me, really.
And then, like, I know we talked about this earlier, but like looking back in general, did you see like any clear warning signs?
The dropping MMA and quitting Dairy Queen for like no reason. I think he quit Dairy Queen at like the end of this school year, I'm pretty sure. And then the MMA was over the summer at some point, but those were just weird to me. But that was it. There was like nothing else that I had noticed.
Yeah. As far as processing it, like, how was the funeral? Did that like necessarily help?
The funeral like still didn't feel real. It was weird seeing like all of his family there, and then like the entire cross country team from like years back were there too. It just did not seem like it was actually happening.
Yeah. If you had to like describe one like emotion for your grief, like what would it be?
I don't know. It's like a combination, like anger almost that I didn't know or didn't say yes to like going to the Y with him the last time, because maybe he would have said something then, because it was like 3 or 5 days before. Yeah, I don't know. Just like, it still doesn't feel like it actually happened. I don't know. I don't do like a great job of like understanding my own emotions to it. It's weird.
Oh, you're good. Did he ever talk to you about fighting?
Like, yeah, he did. He would talk to me about how he wanted to like go all the way to the UFC and stuff like that. And like I believed that he could because he would tell me that like the instructor at the gym he was at was like he was obviously good because he was an instructor, and he would tell me that he could like almost beat him, or he was like the only person there that could match him in like the boxing or UFC, MMA, whatever it was. So I think he had intentions of taking it pretty far, which I think he could have.
Did you think anything like besides that he had the potential? Like, what did you think overall about like his career goal of like becoming a professional fighter?
I think it was cool. Like it was really, it's different because nobody else like at the school really, or nobody I was friends with wanted to do anything like that. And I had the opportunity too for a while over the summer to actually go to that gym with him for free because his mom had offered me to or told him to tell me that she would pay like the $80 a month or whatever it was, just as long as I drove him there and drove him back. So I did have the opportunity to do that for a while, and I'd really wanted to, but I asked my parents about it at dinner one time, and they were telling me, or it was mostly my mom. She said she didn't want me to do it because like head injuries or something like that, but I could have gone with him if I had really pushed, I guess, and it would have been free too.
Is there like anything significant fighting wise he like taught you or showed you?
No, the one thing I remember is one of the exercises he would do, he'd get like the landmine barbell, and he would take it in one hand and just go like that and that, and he was trying to get me to do that. And there was also like dumbbell bench that he was trying to show me, where you just you like hold one up like this, and then the other one you press up, just to, like work on your whatever muscles would be used for MMA or whatever. And he would try to like show me the ab workouts like I was talking about earlier. He would send me one on like Instagram saying, dude, we should try this, we should try this. I was like, oh my God, that looks terrible. And he was like, I know, but it looks like fun.
Did you guys ever bond over music?
Not exactly, because our tastes were different. Like there were a couple times in the car where I would show him like Uzi, obviously, and then Suicide Boys I showed him a couple times. And he really liked Kid Cudi, so I would sometimes play Kid Cudi in the car and stuff like that. But he showed me a couple songs, but we never really like shared playlists or anything like that.
What do you think like music had meant to him?
It obviously meant a lot to him because of the playlist that he had left behind, and like all the songs. I'm sure they all had like specific meaning to him, all the different ones, and there was like a wide range in there. But it's probably how like he processed his own emotions and stuff like that on his own, just through music.
Yeah.
Never like, we would talk about like some personal stuff, but he would never open up about anything like that to me.
Yeah. So you guys were talking about like personal stuff?
Yeah, just like girls that he liked, people he didn't like his interests, or something like that.
Was it like, I'm trying to think, would it be like kind of like there'd be like a lead up, like the conversation would be leading into that direction, or would he kind of like sporadically like drop it out?
It was kind of leading into it because we would talk like the whole time we were working out, like in between sets and stuff like that, and it would just be a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
It was always closer towards the end though, like when we were about to leave the Y.
And then is there like a definite song that makes you think of him?
Yeah, the one Kid Cudi song, Unquittable, that one, and obviously Bored to Death and Adam's song. All three of those are probably the ones that I listened to the most out of the stuff that he had in the playlist.
We have like extra time for the last question, so is there anything you want to say like in particular or talk about?
I don't know, probably just how close of like a friend he was to me all of high school, especially through cross country. Like we had stayed in the, as I was saying, the little 3-person tent, which was like literally maybe this big, so we were right next to each other. The first year when I first showed him it, he thought like a 3-person tent would be way bigger, so he was a little surprised when he saw it. And I think he like helped me become more like social or open to talking to other people, because everybody on the team like loved him just because of like how he was, just his personality. And he like got me to talk to new people on the team and stuff like that. And the second year at camp 2, we also slept together in a bigger tent this time. It was just me and him, but it was like an 8-person tent. And he would always have trouble falling asleep. So there would be I'd be on like my phone at night on Snapchat, and I'd have the flash on. And whenever there was a flash, he'd get pissed off and be like, "Dude, stop! I just want to sleep." And it was like all night long with that. And we were always like super close through cross and stuff like that. And then when he didn't do cross country senior year, I like was able to talk to him in Latin class or in study hall. He would sit behind me, and my study hall is like dead silent, so he would randomly tap my shoulder, be like, "Latin, I need the Latin," and then I'd have to email him all the Latin answers all the time. And then obviously like working out in March and over the summer and stuff like that, I got to stay close with him too. But he was definitely one of my closer friends out of everybody.
So you ready for the final question?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, and then, like, a lot of people will, like, be like, "Oh, like, what do you mean by this? Like, what context?" It's, like, really, you can answer it however you want. If you could say one thing to him right now, what would it be?
Like, talk to me more. Like, tell me more about whatever he was feeling, because I was one of his close friends, so he could have gone to me with whatever he had wanted to, and I would have been able to talk to him about it. I know I'm definitely not the type of person to go to stuff like that, because I don't really like showcase emotions or talk about anything like that, but I wish he would have said something to me, especially like the couple days before when he had asked me to go to the gym. I keep thinking that maybe he would have said something then, but I don't know. But if I could say anything, that's what it would be.
Yeah, I think on the gym thing though, like, I feel like everybody has that moment. I mean, yours was just a bit closer than everybody else's, but
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's got like that last moment where they're like, "I could have done this." Like, the truth is, like, he was determined with everything, I feel like, and like he was determined to go through with his plan. So I don't think anybody should really put it on themselves that to think like they could have stopped it. Because I think there was really no once he put his mind to something, there was like no stopping him really.
Yeah.
Is that it, or do you want to say anything else?
No, I think that's it.
All right.